Hey guys, welcome to Gutenberg Section Design Challenges Day 3. So in today's video, I'm gonna explore the grid. So basically the grid is a very interesting thing and there's a lot of things to learn about the grid, and this is very basic tutorial for grid. We're gonna explore the advanced one later. Now let's take a look at our design that we are going to create here in this tutorial. So now the day 3 here, we are gonna use this design to make it similar as much as we can. Because except the typography, and we are not going to replicate the typography basically here because we cannot add typography individually. So in our previous part we created this page and now it's days 2. Let's add a new page here. Oh, sorry, days 3 not 2. So here is the days 3. Now let's close the other one. So if you take a look at how the design here, basically there is a title and there is a paragraph and 3 columns. So why we are not going to use column? In some cases we are going to use column, in some cases we are not going to use column because of the responsive view. So if you think about the responsiveness of the design, then I highly recommend you to use grid, and it will gonna make it more easy for you. Now let's take a look at this design and just understand. So we are gonna take a stack here to make these sections, and we are going to use grid here to make these sections, and inside the grid there is another stack, and the grid itself is a group as well, and there is a button here. So let's make it quick. Let's copy the text from here, and there is a background color. Basically if you take a look at here, the full background color and the full width background color, I always use or recommend to use group, not cover, because when we are gonna use the background image we are gonna use the cover block, but when it's time to use the color then the group is perfectly fine. Let's make a group here first. Hit enter, or you can just use your mouse and make it full width. Now the background, the group is basically full width, but it's not going to display full width. Let's add some background color here. Let's copy the color. Copy and paste here. Now we have added a background color, and now it's time to copy this text. So first copy my team, add paragraph, and then copy this text, which is I'm going to use heading, and let's make it Excel. And at the same time go to the appearance and change it to the bold, or if you want you can make it extra bold. It's completely up to you. So if we want to adjust or match with the font family name is Monroe. So by default the Gutenberg doesn't allow you to use the font family directly from here without adding them. So basically the font, okay, so I think it's here, so we can use this one perfectly. It's perfectly fine. We just copy and paste here, and the Monroe is already added here itself. If you want to add fonts and if you want to add the global typography, there is a complete series tutorial on my channel. Just comments below, or you can ask in the Facebook group. I will share with you as well. So now let's take a look at here the exact width. Let's make it similar as much as you can. The exact width is 892 pixel. Let's make it, and let's take a look at the font size here, which is 56 pixel. Okay, let's make it similar. Let's add here and go to the pixel, and let's make it 56 pixel. If you want you can use EM or REM. You can convert the pixel into REM or EM. You can use also ChatGPT, and you can just mention, hey, convert this 56 to REM or EM. Now let's change the theme font size here. Let's make it 16 pixel. Okay, you just select here, just click over here, go to here, which is the custom value for font, make it 16. That's it. And now if I open this group, you can see there is a paragraph and there is a heading here. Now select both of them together and select, you can select them as a group here. And as you can see, the width of this group, if I click here again or hover over, 892 pixel, but the 892 pixel is not the width here for the default width. So there is a three options: fixed width, wide width, and the full width. But I want custom width. How can we do that? Let's select this group first. Let's click over here. Make sure you have selected this cog icon, and basically it's settings icons. 892 pixel. But still, it's not going to display 892 pixel. Why? Because in our day 1 and day 2, I mentions that you have to go to the upper block or the parent block and disable the layout options from here. That's it. And now as you can see, it's displaying 892 pixel wide here. And select the parent group and add some padding as well. You can take a look at here the padding distance. Like if I press Alt from my keyboard, if I hover over here, you can see the 90 pixel top and the 90 pixel at the bottom area. Now let's go back here inside the group again, select the parent group and go to the padding and select here the custom value, make 90 pixel. So you can see we're gonna try to make this pixel perfect design. And now select this group, and if you want, basically you can use a stack here, but the stack doesn't allow you to add a custom width, and that's why I'm gonna use the group here, and the group will allow you to add a custom value. So 892 pixel or 90 pixel here, and the justification is center, but still it's not gonna work, because when you are using group, you have to click on this paragraph or the items that you'd like to center, select the center manually from here. And let's take a look at the gap between these two items. So it shows here, let's 16 pixel. So I think the gap between this our team and the title is similar to 16 pixel. Let's go to the styles and scroll down, spacing, and make it 16. Perfect. Now at the below, create or take a group here. So I'm not going to use this group. I'm gonna click over here and click add after. Okay, so as you can see, the group area is now full width currently because we have disabled these layout width options. Now let's make here, let's take a grid here. So now to make this grid into a fixed width, there is a very tricky way you have to understand. So first of all, if you take a look at here inside the group, you can see this is disabled. The inner block content width is disabled. Where? Inside the group. So to resolve this, we have to take another group here. Just before add group, hit enter. So as you can see, the group is displaying at the center with its own width. And now I'm going to drag this grid under our new group. I hope you understand. And this is, you might be wondering, this might be a little bit slow process, but if you master yourself shortcut key, it will gonna very fast. So I'm still trying my best to make it slow. Sometimes I go a little bit fast or a little bit slower, but you can speed up the video or you can slow down the video as well. Now I selected the group here and it's selected as inner block. That's why the grid is displaying at the center with its own width, which is the none 645 pixel. But if I add the same grid outside of the group, it will not going to display us these options. These three options not going to display here when I place it outside a grid. I hope you understand very carefully. You have to understand this one because a lot of times you have to use these features. Now let's disable or let's remove this one and select the grid and make it wide width. That's it. So here we are going to use 3 column basically, and I'm going to change the REM 3 column here. It's 3 column displaying, and still if I make it 19, okay, 20 would be perfect for 3 column. And you have to adjust the REM, or you can go to the manual and just type 3 column. That's it, and go to the auto, and it does automatically. You do not have to drag and drop here basically. Now let's go to our design. There is an image. Let's export this image first. You can use any other image. Right now I'm using this image from here, and you can see there is a border around this image. Let's copy the name first, and the font size is 24 pixel. Let's add image. or search here. Select. And after, so as you can see, this is very interesting. When I add after, I wanted to add text below the image, but when I select after again, it will gonna navigate to my right side, and that's why I'm going to convert this image as grid. So I can simply click on this image and click group. So as you can see, the image converted to the group, and now if I add anything here, when I select the image and then after, it will gonna display below. Paste the text and hit enter. Copy the text here again and here. Now as you can see, this is a paragraph and this is a paragraph. Let's select this paragraph here and change this to the heading. Let's make it heading 3 and go to our design, and the paragraph font size is 16 pixel, which is Sora font family, and this one is Manrope bold 24 pixel. Let's make it 24 pixel heading 24, and let's make it bold. And here let's make it 16, and the font family, I do not want to change the font family, I just keep the default one. And take a look at here, the gap between them, 8 pixel. So if I select this item and make it row and then go to the styles and add the block spacing to 8 pixel, that's it. And now as you can see, this is inside row and this is inside a group. So this is very interesting things, and that's why I have added this tutorial here. Now we are gonna add a background color, and inside the grid group, you can see here there is a background color white and there is a border as well. So let's add a background color inside the stack. So as you can see, I have added a background color inside stack, and at the same time the image itself, which is, if I drag and drop, you can see it looks like this. So I just drag this image and I added background color inside a stack. Instead, inside stack, we can make the background color, we can add inside the group. Let's add. Now as you can see, it looks much better. And go to the stack again. So it will create some issue on responsive things, but let me first work on here. Let's go to the styles. I have selected the stack. You have to keep an eye when and where I select from the list view. It's very important to understand the whole tutorial here. Now let's add some padding left and right. Sorry, top and bottom and left and right. So I just added padding here, and there is a gap between the image and the stack, and select the parent group here, and I would like to reduce this gap to make it 0. And as you can see, there is no gap between the text and the image here. Now if I go to the Figma design, you can see there is 30 pixel on the left and right and 30 pixel at the top. So all of our padding is 30 pixel. Now if I go to the stack and select the image or styles, scroll down, you can see it's 20 pixel. Now if I go in other steps, it's 30 now. So each steps counts as a 10 pixel. So I have added 30 pixel gap or padding top, left, right and bottom. Let's add some border color here. When I select the stack, go to styles, you can see here there is a border. Let's add 1 pixel border and add a random border here. So I just added a little bit a deep border so that you can understand here. This is a very light border or light color. Still, I believe you can see this. Let's copy this color using color picker here. Okay, this one is the border color. Let's select again and change the border color. Boom. So we are done. Now as you can see, these are the items we are not going to use. Let's remove them and copy this group. So you can rename this group, like let's rename team member. And now copy, you can simply paste here, or you can just select here and duplicate. Command Shift D. So just duplicate 3 times here, and let's click publish and view the page here. It looks like this. Why? So it doesn't look perfect or okay here, right? If I scroll, if I zoom out, you can see here the grid. So as I shared that, it will gonna create some issue. Now as you can see, if I go to manual, it shows 3 column. But the problem is here, if I adjust the width, if I make it 3 column, it will gonna work like this way. So the problem is here, basically the image itself, it will not going to make 100% width, and that's the problem here. So we can fix this easily, but I wanted to show you the issue and at the same time the grid. So as you can see, the image is not displaying as a full width. So what we can do in this situation? So in that situation, we can simply remove this image, add a cover, and go to media file, take the image, and we can do the whole things here inside the cover. But instead using cover, we did a little bit different approach, but I hope it will gonna help you to understand. But at the same time, I'm going to use the cover so that you can understand how the cover gonna works. Let's change the opacity 0 here and make it, or take it to the top. So as you can see, the image height, which is displaying automatically, and at the same time the image is now full width. No matter what screen sizes you are using, it will always gonna display full width. I'm going to remove the other part here, and let's duplicate them 3 times, save and reload. So as you can see, our team member section is displaying perfectly here. Now if I go back again and go to the grid, here you can see the manual. So as of now, it's displaying as a 3 column. Now if I go to the inspect view, you can see here, if I scroll or change my window, it's breaking, like it's changing its position here nicely. But in column, you cannot do it like this way. It will gonna change a different way. It will gonna create some another issues. So now you have understand how it works and how to create this kind of sections using grid. But you can do it easily using a column, but it will gonna create some another issues in responsive view. So if you take a look at here inside our design, there is some other text and images, and you can take a look at them, you can copy them, you can create this design yourself and share your work in our Facebook group. So if you just wanted to make a similar button, you can, I hope you can make a similar button here. And there is another sample. I highly recommend you to use grid and create this sample here and share your experience in our channel. There is a little bit challenges that I'm gonna show you here. I'm not going to explain. I just wanted to share with you. This is, you have to use a gradient to make this kind of sections. You have to use gradient background color, and you have to use 2 colors for making this gradient perfect. 3 colors, I would say. There is another color. So if you cannot do it, no worry, I'm gonna create another video tutorial for you, and it will help you to understand how the gradient works. So share your feedback. And now let's add some gap here between these 2 items. 30 pixel. Go to our page and select the grid, select the styles, and the space between is 30 pixel. So when I add 30 pixel, it looks like this. And I don't know why it's adding some border here, random border. Okay, that's just grid things. So I just added some spacing here, and if I go and, sorry, let's disable this one and reload our page, it looks like this. If you take a look at here, there is also some spacing between these heading and these people or the person image or the team member image. Basically, there's a 60 pixel gap here. If you want, you can select this group and go to style step, add some padding top. But instead adding padding top, I'm gonna use another options here. So I'm going to use the parent group here. So let's take a look at here. I have selected the parent group here, and then go to the styles tab, and you can see here there is an options called spacing. Let's go to 6 step here. So I have added a gap 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I have added 60 pixel gap here, and let's make it 60 manually. So I've added 60 pixel gap here without adding padding or margin. So it will gonna help the responsive devices to display them perfectly without reducing the spacing on breakpoint. So basically the default Gutenberg doesn't have breakpoint, but it will help you if you work like this way to organize the responsive spacing in your design basically. So that's it for today. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me, and don't forget to share your work in our Facebook group and get feedback from me or other team members. Have a good day. Bye.